G'day folks, and welcome to this live stream of Europa Universalis V. This is the grandest of grand strategy PC games. It just came out this week. It's been in early access for a while, I believe. I've only just purchased it this week, this weekend actually, and I've been diving into my playthrough of the Kingdom of Hungary, which starts as a landlocked, relatively well-sized kingdom. I think it's a good place to get started. So I should point out, I have played many of the Paradox Interactive games going back to, I'm pretty sure I played EU1 20 plus years ago. I've played Hearts of Iron all the way up to Hearts of Iron 4, played a lot of EU4, and yeah, very excited about the changes to Europa Universalis V. I'm going to pitch this video at those who have both played previous sort of Paradox Interactive titles, including mainly EU4, and also those new. So what are we looking at here? We are looking at, well, when you start the game, when you light up a game, you start in 1337 and you take control of a nation's, wow, there's so many choices you have. Little nation states, empires, trade leagues, etc. As I said, I've picked the Kingdom of Hungary as a nice place to get started. I picked Hungary because they're kind of landlocked. Well, they were landlocked, so they don't have to worry too much about their navy, basically. You just focus on, well, and my focus initially was on building my mercantile capacity. And that's what I want to talk about really in this video. I'm focusing on coming back to grips, I say coming back to grips with the trade mechanisms of this game. You may notice up in the top right, so this is what's called the outliner. And it kind of, you can tag certain things. So if I've got this little army here, and if I want to follow this army around, I can, what can I do? I should be able to tag them. Now I can't find out how to do it. Anyway, let's try a different thing. Let's try my capital, which is Buda, over here. I can tag it, and it will put it over here, and I can quickly go to Buda. You can also, I guess, hotkey certain things. So if I want to follow this army, I can press Control 2, and then if I get lost in the map somewhere, I can just go straight back to that army. So yes, getting distracted. It's a grand strategy game. You manage, wow, so many aspects of your kingdom. From, let me go through, from governance, and the leadership of your nation. I am currently in the unenviable position of having a regency. My my queen died without her heir being of age to inherit. You can see, I think she's 17. I think this is my queen, current heir. She's 10 years old, so I've got to wait 8 years before she can take the crown. So I've got this guy, Emil, as leader of the regency. You can see that all these little pop-ups showing you all these things. Brace yourself, there's a lot going on, and I'm going to try to run you through most of these as we go. Okay, so yes, governance. You manage the country, you manage your leadership, you can shape your leader to an extent. Yeah. So for example, I just showed you my heir. I can kind of, I've given her an administrative education. I want her to be a good administrator. So I'm focusing more. There's three categories: administration, diplomacy, and military. And I'm really focusing a lot on administration. I want Hungary to have very effective internal administration. Diplomacy is important. military is important, but I didn't plan to go to war too much. I didn't plan to be building these great alliances and going off to war, or building any sort of empire. I wanted to manage the internal administration, get my kingdom under control. Okay, so I can shape my leaders to some extent. This little bar here is one of the most important ones. It shows the different estates. So you can see my crown power here is 20%. That is problematically low. You want to have this over 25%, or you suffer all these penalties. So I will also point out I'm almost 100 years into this playthrough. So this is not the start of a playthrough. I'm 100 years in and I'm still struggling with crown power. What is crown power? It's basically my power as the player to do what I want to do. And the fact that it's only 20% is very problematic. In fact, before I forget, I might try to do something immediately to reduce the powers. What can I do? It's very it's very hard to make immediate change in this game. You need to set up the infrastructure for long-term changes. So by what can I do to increase crown power? Oh, jeez. What can I do exactly? I don't know at the moment. I'll figure that out in a moment. But this is my power to do things, my power to extend. And if I show you control of my realm, you can see here my crown power rests upon Buda, my capital, and it stretches out throughout the kingdom. But you'll notice it becomes weaker the further you stretch from the capital. So I can do things, and I have done things over the past 100 years to try. It's actually much improved than what it was 100 years ago. But I've been trying to improve crown power and stretch it out throughout the empire. How am I doing that? If I zoom right in, you'll see these little squiggly lines. These are my roads. So I've really been prioritizing roads throughout the empire. Roads do many things, including extending proximity to capital. It basically it brings the connection of these provinces to your capital, which increases to some extent the control you have over those areas. There are various buildings, so if I won't get too much into this right now, but I will return to it in a moment. There are all these buildings that you can build to improve the control you have over these regions. And all the way down here, did I build it? No, I didn't build it. I thought I built a bailiff. There's a building called a bailiff which you can use to improve power. So yes, power and control are important. You want to be able to control your kingdom. Over here, way out here, if I can give you an example, right? So here we go. This is the tax base of this province. They have a potential tax base of 0.34 ducats. Because I have such low control, I actually have 6% control. It's not zero. I'm losing 93% of that potential, and I'm only getting 0.02 ducats. You contrast that, for example, with Buda, where I have, well, let's look at pests across over here. Pest here, I have potential tax base of 5.12. I have control of 78%, so I'm getting about 78% of my potential tax base. Money is obviously important. My income is up here, and yeah, I'm mostly letting the AI. So in this game, you can let the AI manage aspects of these things in your kingdom, your empire, your realm, your domain. So I'm just letting it manage the economy. I'm setting up sort of the basic infrastructure, trying to set up the conditions in my kingdom to improve my economy, building efficient buildings, building roads, building some trade networks, etc. But I'm letting the computer manage the fine details. Do I tax the burgers more or less? I'll let you sort that out. Do I spend more on the stability of my realm? I'll let you sort that out. Okay, little changes here and there. Okay, and overall, it's delivering. I've set up the infrastructure to deliver quite a good monthly profit. So I'm getting 92 ducats monthly, which is pretty healthy for a kingdom of my size. So that's my money. And crown. Going back to crown control, I am focused on crown control, trying to gain control, trying to improve this. I really am, and I need to get a bit more effective at managing crown control. Yeah, crown power. You can see 2 of these, autocracy and royal decree, are designed to improve crown power, but even so, it is so low. Because I'm under a regency is one of the big reasons. What else is shaping this? I don't know why it is so low. Okay, we'll come back to that. Then you've got 4 other estates. The nobility, your nobles, the clergy, the churches, the burghers, basically the mercantile faction, and the commoners, which is most of your population, ranging from peasants, soldiers, more common merchants, etc. Various people, and they make up your total population. So you can see total population here, percentage of basically power they have. So you can see my nobility is way too powerful, and that's problematic because they can demand less taxes, they can demand more control over things. So you can see here maximum tax rate is reduced, levy combat efficiency. That's a more efficient levy. But we progress towards aristocracy. All right, so now we look at our values. And this is where I sit, where my kingdom sits on the key values, how we are shaped by... I need to stop that pop-up from happening. How we're shaped by different things. So you can see I've been trying to... If I can move more towards centralization, it'll increase my crown power. At present, I'm at decentralization. So basically, power is distributed throughout the estates, and that is a little bit problematic. This value here, the estate's satisfaction. So you need to keep your estates happy, and you do that by these bars at the top here. So this shows who is improving, who is decreasing. If I click on this, it shows me, it brings me back to government, but particularly focuses on their satisfaction level here. So you can see the nobility, they have a high equilibrium, 84%. That means that they are trending towards happiness. The clergy is very happy, 83%, but they are trending down to 78. That's not too bad. And the burghers, 62, trending up to 74. Commoners, 67, trending up to 71. As long as you're above 50%, you can look on this and it will give you various bonuses. So happy group of commoners gives me higher food production, reduced stability investment cost. So it's easy to improve my stability. The fact that my nobility, oh, here we go, my clergy are so happy, gives me what? It has monthly research progress, substantial research progress. So having such a happy clergy helps me invest in research, and it improves my diplomatic reputation. Okay, so they're the estates. Got to keep them happy. You can invest in their happiness. So when things drop down, you can just literally give them some money and they'll be happy. And I can give them what are called privileges. So I can click on these privileges that I don't want to give the burghers any more privileges because they've got a lot, but I can give them these privileges, which increases their power basically in my kingdom. You can see the clergy have very few privileges. They seem to be quite powerful. And they're already very happy as well. Okay, so that's the estates. They're my values. As I said, I'm trying to shift towards decentralization. It's a balancing bar. They trend. You can see the trend here. I'm trending towards decentralization. That's the result of various things. And then I've got my mission. So this is kind of like little sidebar missions that you can set yourself. So I have set myself economic missions throughout the first 100 years. I'm currently midway through the development of trade, and I'm really struggling to establish a maritime presence. Why, might you ask? Because I was a landlocked country, and I needed to set a maritime lane. I found this very difficult to I'm building the infrastructure. So what have I done to achieve that? I have Bosnia is, well, Bosnia was, what were they? I think they were, let me try and find out what their status was. I can't remember, but basically they were like a vassal. Fiefdom, they're a fiefdom. And as a fiefdom, I've just been sniping away at some of their territory. I can demand a territory from them. So I've been doing that to try and get to the coast. You can see here I now have 2, and then I went to war with Serbia and claimed some of their territory for to have a contiguous path. You can see all the roads I built through this difficult terrain here. To give myself 2 coastal ports over here in Mekvik and down here in Kotor. Now, in Kotor, I've focused my efforts, and I built, you can see all these buildings that I've constructed, trying to improve my control, trying to build, which I now have, a dock. Okay, and then I've built a navy, so I have my navy here, and I'm basically trying to establish maritime control over this sea area. You can see my maritime presence here. These guys have a trade advantage. Here is their maritime presence. I am down here on 33.93, but it is rapidly improving, changing 0.24 because of the navy and the adjacent port. So that's going up quite fast, and I'm just hoping to continue to improve my maritime presence in this region slowly. Would also like to build up that other one, but that's a bit of a sidebar. Okay, so they're my missions. I'm focusing on economic missions. I've been building a lot of sort of economic infrastructure throughout my kingdom. And you can see all these little circles here. That's stuff that's ongoing. So I'm currently improving the market. Now, what am I doing here? This isn't the market. This is expand gathering. So this region here gathers clay. So I'm just improving clay gathering. I don't know why I'm doing that, but anyway. In Buda, I am building a theatre. So I've just unlocked a theatre. That's not really economic. I'm now moving more towards sort of the arts. But I've got a good economic infrastructure. What else is happening around the realm? Look, down here I am investing in a potter's guild. And down here, these are the regions that I've sort of conquered from Serbia, claimed from Serbia. I am increasing control of the region and encouraging migration to the region. So I'm really trying to improve the population for this coastal area to improve my power along the coast. Okay, so that's my missions. That's what I've been doing. That's the government bar. Oh, well, no, that's only part of the government bar because I've pointed out estates. There is a parliament. You can call parliament every now and then and change certain, call for certain things. You can change laws. Changing laws really hits your stability, but it's about time. My stability is quite high now. Think of your stability as a bar that kind of goes up, it rises, and then you spend it, it drops down, and it slowly rises again. So I'm at a point now where I want to spend some stability. Actually, let's look at this. Stability, the impact of having a positive stability is people don't want to join rebels. I have a great power score, which I'm not concerned about right now. And the estates, my estate's equilibrium. People are going to be 2% happier because of my stability. And population promotion speed. This is another important factor. This is an indicator of how quickly your population's from sort of think this is class or mobility, social mobility, population mobility. So down here in, actually I can show you one of the bars here to highlight population issues. All right, so these guys here, actually that's probably not going to help at all. The castle in Kotor. So I built a castle in Kotor. Here we go. And if I look at this castle, you'll notice there aren't enough people to populate the castle. I'm missing 475 soldiers. But if I look at my population in Kotor, how do I look at my population in Kotor? Here we go. Population is growing, and my population will promote through the ranks in this region. I'm just looking at other factors as well. Got a bit of a food balance issue, but yep, there's not a lot of food producing provinces in this region. Okay, so that's another thing. So population promotion. Go back to laws. So I can change the law, which will cost me stability. So for example, if I want to, what do I want to do? Education of the masses. See, I've really been focusing a lot of effort on education of the people, education, education of the masses, trying to improve literacy. So you can see I'm moving more towards the arts and literacy now that I have my sort of economic stability in place. I need to move more towards maximum control, central council, progress towards centralization. So I look right now as I'm looking at this, I'm thinking this is what I currently have: food production. I currently have a feudal. No, I don't. What do I have? Yeah, I have a feudal administration which increases food production, which was important early on, and I was progressing towards decentralization. Now I want to move towards a central council, which will increase the efficiency of my cabinet, which I'll show you in a moment. It'll move towards centralization, which will move towards my greater crown power. Unfortunately, it'll progress us towards aristocracy, which is not what I want. It'll increase noble power, which they already have a lot of, but this one is most important. Progress towards centralization. You can see everything else moves us towards decentralization, which I don't want, which reduces my power, etc. So I'm going to go Central Council. If you hover over this, it'll show you the cost. 102 stability. That's problematic, but bear with me. I'm going to commit to that. Stability drops. Okay. I will start slowly moving towards centralization of power, crown power. Unfortunately now, we've got population joining rebels threshold. It's going up. I lose 2 points now. Oh, crikey, this is terrible. Estate satisfaction equilibrium. My people now are almost 20% less happy than what they were previously. You can see it's all declining. Luckily, they were all at a pretty high point. So what I'm really going to try and do, so whilst I have the computer managing my finances, I can just click that and say, hey, let's invest heavily in stability. Let's get us to improve. So bearing in mind I was making about 100 ducats a month. I'm going to pretty much max my stability investment and try and get that back up to at least 0 as quickly as possible. Alright, let's see how that goes. Let's get the game rolling. And okay, I can adjust the speed. I've got it at max speed because I'm just flying through some things. Let me point out my cabinet. I've showed you the estates, parliament, laws, and now cabinet. So when the game started, I was able to appoint 2 people to my cabinet. Buildings are missing inputs. I need more books. I'm always needing more books. And I can call parliament as well, which is great. I'll show you that in a moment as well. So I have at present a relatively okay cabinet. My cabinet are basically people within my realm who I can appoint to do certain things. Think of them as going beyond advisors. They're more actors, agents of change. So I have set cabinet member Blaise Arpide to increase control in Kotor. As I mentioned, this was my port province that I really wanted to do important things with. Build that dock, build my navy, increase control over the maritime region, increase my presence. All right, so I've been focusing a lot of effort on increasing control in Kotor. And as a result, it's up to 32%. It was on 0 when I took over. So I've increased control. It is a constant challenge. You can see here there is a monthly decay of control of 0.5. So it's you're fighting against this decline, which, as you can see, by having low control, it has all these negative impacts. I get less power in the region, less manpower, etc., etc. So, yes, that's one of the things I've been focusing on. I've set this guy to increase control. I've set this guy to encourage migration. So I've been trying to improve the population. The reason being, it started off as a small regional. What was it? It was a regional, a rural settlement. Sorry. Now it is a thriving town, and as a town, I was able to build the docks, etc. So this guy, there's a plan behind all this. Cabinet member Pavel was encouraging migration. He's been doing it for a while, been encouraging migration for a while. It's now a town. I was then able to build a docks. I was then able to use the docks to build a fleet, and I'm using that fleet to increase my maritime presence, which will increase my sort of trade control over this region, this naval sea zone. And then finally, I have this guy, Cabinet member David, who is integrating one of these regions. These are the regions I took over from Serbia. So you can see they had low control. He's integrating them within our kingdom. I've already integrated this southern region here, so you can see how it's I have more control here, but I'm integrating this region, which will give me more control, which will let me do more things in that region. All right, so that's my cabinet. They are very important, very powerful. If I can show you the kind of things they can do, they can change my societal values. So ideally, and in fact, you know what? Encourage migration. What are we getting? We're getting migration's. I'm going to cancel the migration. I'm going to change this to changing societal values. Yeah, I'm going to do this. So rather than encouraging migration, which is, I've already have the town, I already have the port. Sorry, sometimes I do that. Let me show you the map. All right, here we are. KOTOR down here. I am going to get him to change societal values. I'm going to move towards centralization. Okay. Is he the best person to do this? This is a diplomatic action. All right, he's going throughout the regions, encouraging people to be more centralized. He has 77 diplomatic skill, which is pretty good. I'll just do a quick check on who else is around. There's nobody else as powerful as him, so I'm happy for him to take on that work. And now, what do we got here? We have a 0.21 modifier. So if I go back to my country's values, you can see now we are moving 0.12 per month back towards centralization. All right, I should have done this a long time ago. It's only when I stop to talk about it and think about it that it starts to happen. All right, so that's my governance. That's my cabinet. They're doing important things. I've got my values. I've got my missions. Things are happening. Okay, we'll get the ball rolling. Game is playing. Okay, I don't know why I have these levies. I'm not at. Oh, hold on. Yeah, Poland. Poland is a very close ally of mine. They love me. Let's bring up the diplomatic map. So you can see this is me, Kingdom of Hungary. Poland loves me. Austria, quite friendly. I've got Albania, I've got Bosnia and Croatia here. I don't know why Croatia is dropping away, but and these guys hate me. So Bulgaria, Serbia hate me. Halik hates me. Oh, the Duke. Okay, that's interesting. Random events will pop up as you go. The bar at the top here shows reminders of various things. So I did mention I'd show you how Parliament works. So let's call our estates. So you click this little button here. We can call in our estates to the Hungarian Parliament to resolve any issue that they may have, whilst giving the opportunity to do various additional things. We select the Parliament location, and you can see on the map here it highlights the possibilities. Buda is my capital. If I have Parliament in Buda, it improves. There you go. You can see the little bar pops up. Parliament will move towards centralization, which I want. If I pick a different location, we'll move towards decentralization, which is what I don't want. I'm trying to move more towards centralization, so I'm going to choose Buda. And here are the options I have to debate in Parliament. Naval infrastructure I see immediately. What will this do? KOTOR gains development. I've just been talking about KOTOR and how I'm trying to develop that, but let's have a look at the other things. Bolster the government. That'll improve my legitimacy. My legitimacy under this regency has really been struggling. So that would be a good one. Improving my legitimacy. I'd get a +1, which would counter the 0.94 that I'm currently losing. New hunting grounds will increase basically hunting in certain regions. Expanding gathering industries. Farming estates. This will increase the power of nobility by the looks of it. Increase ties to subjects, so Bosnia is a subject. I do have also these up here, Masuria. I went to war with the Teutonic Knights and I claimed some of their territory a long time ago, and I've just set them up as again, I've forgotten the word, not vassals, but something else. Market regulations, I've been doing a lot of this early on. Promote castle works, we'll build a castle. Promote a member of the clergy, will make the clergy happy. Sponsor a cathedral, will build me a cathedral and again make the clergy happy. We've already pointed out the clergy, their happiness is declining pretty quickly, but they're currently very happy. What I really want to do is bolster the government, because I can't see a way to quickly. I could invest in. What can I do? I'm in a regency, so I'm struggling. I don't have much helping this. Culture investment, where is my... here we go, costs of the court. I can just bump this up a little bit. Maybe I just do that. You can see it going down. If I just make it stable, that's costing money. I'm going through an expensive period in my kingdom's history where I'm investing heavily in the costs of the court and in stability. If I do that, I don't really then need to bolster the government. I can do something else, like increasing my naval infrastructure. Okay, so if I do this, it increases shipbuilding speed, not important, while the issue is being debated. But more importantly, if it passes, I get development in my coastal regions, increase my societal value towards the naval, which isn't too important. It's more these things, a bit of extra development in those coastal regions, which is kind of what I want. So I'm going to improve increased naval infrastructure. Done. Okay, so Parliament's been called. They're filing in to settle important issues for the country. This little bar pops up here showing me the debate. We're debating this. There are 180 days left before they vote, and this is current parliamentary support. At present, it will fail. What can I do? The easiest thing to do is just pick one of these agendas and you appease the people. So if, oh crikey, it's the nobility. If the nobility wants support for a traditional economy, we lose some stability. Okay, I don't want to do that. And I move societal values more towards a traditional economy. What are my other options here? A tax exemption for the burghers. That'll upset the nobility, it'll upset the clergy, but the burghers will be taxed less for the next 5 years. A 20% lower maximum tax rate. That's quite a lot. Support for communal values. I lose some legitimacy, but I move towards communalism, and that'll give me a 10% boost. And that'll. Well, this is an easy one. It's not too much of a risk, so I'm going to. Not too much of a risk. Look, this one's probably the least painful. And it gets me, so if I click on this one, it gives me a 42% boost in my parliamentary support. And now suddenly Parliament supports the idea of increased naval infrastructure. They love the idea. I've still got to wait 176 days, various things can happen. I can add, make requests to Parliament, okay, but that will reduce parliamentary support. I say, please, I need additional taxes. They'll say, yep, all right, we'll give you that. But you see, I lose 50% support. This will go down to 19%. So I don't want to do that. So while that's happening, it'll take 180 days. The kingdom continues to run. I've mentioned my economy. There are various things you can, move things up. Oh, okay, that's just an inflation warning because I was playing around with the slider. I can do more minting, not mining, minting. I can tax people more. I kind of want to tax nobility more. Am I at my maximum? Oh no, it's set to automate it. So I can really. Nope, that is. I need to change the unlock settings. So bear with me a second. Unlock delay. Let's just turn that down a little bit. Okay, so finances. It seems I can't tax the nobility anymore at their maximum level. I think. Can't tax the clergy. Anything. Burgers are being taxed quite high. Okay, so there you go. That's the economy. You can change things. I generally leave that I'm currently trying to really boost my stability, get it up to positive, but aside from that, I'll let the AI manage the minor details. So I'll set this going for maybe a year or so, and then I'll revert back to AI management. Markets. Okay, so I have a market in pest. You can see the flow of trade goods. I tend not to pay too much attention to this. Yeah, I know I've been setting up the mercantile infrastructure. I've been doing addressing the needs of my kingdom, but not really doing too much to sort of micromanage anything here. All right, so I don't fully understand the details yet. I've got goods, trades, countries. What's going on here? Yeah, I don't know. Food is important. Let's have a look at my surpluses and this place over here. Where is it? So they have a bit of a food problem. You can show, if I click over to, where is it? Here we go. Production. It shows me where things are produced. So I've really tried to improve my, I might just boost that a little bit. Improve my food production. Fruit up here is at 9 out of 11. That's good. I've got some wheat over here. That's 6 out of 6. So this is your raw goods. What's it called? Raw goods production, basically. This thing here. Resource gathering operations, right? So that they're the basic resources in a region. Each region will have one sort of good attached to it, and ideally you want to improve the resources that are important. So for Hungary, gold is very important. Gold comes in to Buda, so it flows along this road to Buda here. I know this is Buda, this is my capital, and in my capital I have, and in and around my capital actually, I have, where is it? I have, where are they? I have things that make the gold better. Here we go, Jewelers Guilds. I don't have many actually. Let's improve my Jewelers Guilds. So I'm building 2 more Jewelers Guilds that'll basically convert that gold into jewels and sell them. And convert silver into jewels and sell them. So you can see I'm producing silver. Get another silver mine up there. There we go. That's how you spend your money. So now you can see I'm down to 918. I like to keep a buffer because things happen. All right, let's go back to my political view. What's happened? Military complacency. Our superbly drilled army is, in the opinion of our most influential generals, invincible. Any recent setbacks are down to the weather or the enemy using such unmanly things as tactics. As far as our generals are concerned, there is no way to improve on perfection. Invincible has a nice ring to it. I gain military complacency for 10 years, my army morale will drop, or the truth may upset some people and I lose stability. I can tell you I don't want to lose any more stability, so I just say, yeah, we're invincible, let's not do anything. Alright, so you're constantly making these decisions about what to do. Okay, where was I? I was looking at the economy. So yeah, look, most of the time I'm letting the economy manage itself and I'm not intervening much at all. So I'll skip over that. Production. Oh, hold on, what's going on here? It seems that the parliament members of this province, have finally realised how beneficial the debate would be to them if it passed, and I'm guessing they're going to improve their support. Yes, 5 more support, and I gained some prestige. Excellent news. This is the highest my prestige has ever been. As I said, I invested initially in the economy, and lately I've been able to sort of invest more in the arts and artists and prestige. I have a royal garden. You can see down here, I have a royal garden, I have works of art. Yeah, various things happening to improve my prestige. And this is like a currency that you can spend to do things. All these things are currency. You've got your ducats, you've got your stability. You can see how I spend stability to pass new laws. I have my population. Okay, that's not really a current. Well, it is actually. It's kind of a currency that I need to staff my buildings. And where is it? These buildings here are understaffed. So it's a currency that I need in these regions. And there are things I can do. There are mechanisms, steps I can take to improve that currency. Well, you saw how I was improving the population down in KOTOR. So that's an example of that. My legitimacy has always been high. It's currently low under this regency, but again, it's a currency that you spend to address various political issues. Prestige, it's not spent as much, but certainly I spend it to commission works of art and the like. Diplomacy and diplomats, these are my diplomats. So I spend my diplomats as a currency to go and do diplomatic things. I have got my war exhaustion, that's a currency that you need to kind of manage. My manpower, my sailor power, and yeah. And what is this? This is my research, of course. Okay, so what's happening here? Okay, now they're upset and I'm losing support, which is fine because I'm still way above. I'm at 79%. Now that parliamentary support is so high, if I lose 50%, you know, I can almost go up to 100, almost go up to 100 and drop it down to 50 and then boost it back up again. So I can increase opinion. That's an easy one to boost up, all right? Increase the opinion of Denmark, but it makes the clergy and the burghers a little bit unhappy. So that's something I can do. And I could ask for a law change. I could select the law, change the law, because normally laws cost stability, as we saw, okay? While Parliament is sitting, I can ask for a law change. In fact, let's see what we can do here. What do I want to do? I've got Central Council happening. I should have done that instead. Centralized bureaucracy. I like this. Strict censorship. What are the implications here? Yeah, okay, we'll leave it how it is. A martial society. Maybe rather than looking here, I'll look at the actual laws. Something to improve my control. Move me back to centralized, or stability would be good. The town has grown rich, and they're disappointed they haven't been chosen as a seat. Well, I'm sorry. Oh, look, this is... I was about to refuse them, but I want to keep my burghers happy. So... Oh, look at that, I'm at 100%. Okay, so I've got to change... I've got to pause and change the law. Like I said, I'm moving towards that. So... Can't change anything there. Legal code, I have a civil law. I don't really want an aristocratic court. It's currently this. So the nobles are happy, the court is expensive, and we move towards aristocracy. What else can I do? Artist skills, move towards innovation, don't want to move towards decentralization. Socio-economic laws, open borders, a martial society. Can't change anything here for some reason. I don't mean the... I can't afford the stability. Oh, that's alright, that's right. So anything that's grayed out won't be grayed out. Education, people, religious teachings. I'd like to start curbing the power of the nobles. Is there anything I can do there to curb their power? Here we go, state laws. Distribution of power. I have a traditional distribution, which is crown power is lost. So this is the thing I want to change. I want to change back up to favour the ruler. It's going to make them unhappy. I'm going to increase my tax. That's the best thing. So I'm going to move towards favour the ruler in distribution of power. So I go back to Parliament. Parliament, where were we? Yep, we're going to ask for a law change. I'm going to ask them to distribute power. Where was distribution of power? We want to favour the ruler. This could be 20 crown power. It will make them unhappy, but it'll improve my tax potential as well. Alright. So, we've asked for a law change. 20% extra power. We've lost 50%. We're still on the 50 we need. But just to be safe, I'm going to increase the opinion, our opinion, of the electorate of Brandenburg. So basically the nobles are asking us to increase our opinion of Brandenburg. This is a noble icon. This is a clergy. These are the burghers. So I'm going to, this is an easy one to do, I think. Not too much dissatisfaction. And now I'm bumped up to 70% again. So you kind of, it's a currency. You're managing all these different currencies. I'm managing my parliamentary support. Now, if I go back to my country, and if I look at the estates, crown power, look, it bumped up to 24%. It should be higher. Hold on. What am I looking at? Crown power. Yeah, it needs to be more. Estate power. It's almost 20. So if I can just bump it up another percent, I'd be, you know, cancelling out all these things. They're already very low, but yeah. Let's get things going. So that's still got 62 days left before I decide, but it's looking good. All right, so where was I? I was looking at production. These are the various buildings you can build, basically. Goods you can produce. So you've got trade, you've got production. This is a good tab. It shows you kind of the most building type maximum profit per level. So I can sort of sort by profit. So obviously these things don't produce any money, they produce other things. What I would like to look at is bailiff. Where can I build more bailiffs? I can build bailiffs everywhere. Okay, so what a bailiff will do is it'll increase. They're going to reduce their support. That's okay. Still well above 50%. So you can see we've got bailiffs here, bailiffs out here. Bailiffs improve. Oh, I want one here if I can. I can't build one there. Why is that? Can't build a bailiff in a town. This place. Okay, next thing. Towns. What are they called? Sorry. Towns. Regional. What are they called again? Rural settlements. They build different types of buildings. So this area here I've been cultivating. Seged as well. It's kind of a midway point just to try and improve my control. You can see it's looking pretty good. And if I look at population, gain some support. If I look at my population, you can see this place has really been growing. 34,000 now. It was much less before I started that because I've been trying to promote them. Okay, there we go. They have passed that increased naval infrastructure. Excellent. That means that my coastal regions down here will my coastal regions will develop more rapidly. You can see the population flowing into this area. This was only a couple of thousand when I took it over, and I've been really prioritizing. Look at that population growth, migration attraction. That's a very prosperous. It's increasing prosperity in that region. Hey, IDJ. Oh, look! If you run through the walkthrough, it guides you through the fundamentals very nicely. And then what I've been doing is I've been doing these missions. So the missions guide you through, kind of like step by step, how you can improve various aspects of the game. There's a lot going on. How far into this video am I? I think I'm, I don't know, but I'm up to the third bar. Up to the third of 8 things you need to consider. So where was I? I was looking at my population here. I'm trying to convert this into a city. Okay, it's currently a town, which is great. I recently upgraded it. Now I want to convert it into a city, but that requires 1,400 gold. Right, so it's expensive. That's actually I think what I was saving for before I saved the game. And you can see the population is flowing into my capital. My capital is thriving. Not possible to upgrade from a city, so it's the maximum possible. Pest is the other one. It's 48,000 people. Oh, we are upgrading. It is being upgraded to a city apparently. So I've already done that before. So Pest is trade hub. Okay, so that's a population bar. Right, so production. I can produce various things. I was going to produce a bailiff down here. Why can't I produce a bailiff? Because it's not a town, a city. Is that right? I can't remember. Anyway, that's how you build buildings. And then you got the goods, and you got your food, etc. Now we look at society, and this is basically breakdown of my population into religion and culture. So, for example, this is the These are the cultural identities of the population. So I'm mainly Magyar, Carpathian, Hungarian. I have a large Serbian population now down the south here. Alright, keep in mind this is the border, this is Serbia, but I've taken over some Serbian territory to try and get to the coast, and they don't look too happy. I can add it, so I don't really understand the cultural things yet. I've just, because Hungary is quite a, you can see, big dominant Hungarian population and a lot of smaller populations. Partly my fault. Well, I've been expanding my borders a little bit, so you can see Slovak, Croatian down here. I have been claiming some of this territory from Bosnia. I've got Transylvania over here, which I really don't control very well. So what you can do, let me pause here. So this culture, what I could do is I could create a subject in Transylvania. Okay, so because I have such low control over here, because I'm getting such low income from these regions, I could create the Duchy of Transylvania. They will become an independent entity, a duchy. They'll be, I think, is it a vassal or whatever, and they would send me their income. I could do that if I knew how to manage those things a little bit more effectively. I don't, and so it's easy to control. I can dictate what happens here. I can build, you can see I've built these roads, and I've been building buildings out here, improving the silver mines up here. I find it easy to do that when it's under my control. Maybe once I know more of the intricacies of that diplomatic, political side of things, it might be a better decision to create that vassalage. But for now, it's easier and it's nicer to look at the Kingdom of Hungary as this big empire. And the same with Bosnia. I've been chipping away at their territory, and they're not happy about it. But you know, I like to have control, I guess, because I know when I have control, I can do things. I could delegate a lot of that just to the AI, but yeah, don't want to. How's this war going? The war is over, and I still have these armies, right? So let's select all my armies. Don't want to select my fleet. Yeah, good. And let's disband them. There we go. They're my armies, and then disband, because I don't need them in times of peace. My ruler is still 11 now. Okay, so I was looking at society and culture. So you manage. This is an important attribute, my cultural tradition. It's basically the power of my dominant culture, and this is the influence of that dominant culture. Okay, and this is basically how influential it is on other cultures. Accepted cultures. It uses cultural capacity. I tolerate all these other cultures, and that costs my cultural capacity. Okay, here are my two artists. He's been working on this for a long time and he's 0% done, so I don't know why. I have no progress. I don't know why he's not doing anything. Alright, neither of these guys. They're 0% done. Why? Why are they not progressing? I just don't know. These are my artists. He's working on this. He's 0% done. He's been working on it for years. Why is he not progressing? I don't know. Why? Why? What are you doing, mate? Why aren't you working on your work of art? I built an art school, thinking that might help. So where did we go? Did I build an art school? I'm sure I built an art school. Where is the art school? Maybe it's not. I'm sure it was here. Art school. Yeah, I built an art school. which improves my cultural tradition, provides skill of new artists, improves my artist skills. It doesn't do anything if they're not actually building stuff. I don't know. So I don't know why. I don't know why. It's always nice looking at the game. Yeah, look, and this is the thing, like, if I was a better player, I might create that Duchy of Transylvania, but I like to look at the Kingdom of Hungary. It's funny. You can play as any minor power. You know, you can play as, who's this over here? The town of Bergheim. I can play it as a single town. Yeah. Is it a town? Is it part of the Duchy of... Yeah, it's a broader duchy. Here we go. So here are here we go. The Bishopric of Minden. That is a one province... Oh no, two. They've got two up there. So you can play as them. Over in Greenland, let me scroll. I haven't discovered Greenland yet, but you can play as this little area in Greenland. The Teutonic Knights are down to one territory now, but they're still surviving. So you can play as, like, you know, the Golden Horde. England's pretty powerful. France is pretty powerful. Or you can just play as very, very small duchies, bishoprics. If I look up here, there's the these are all the little kingdoms, but there's also the Hanseatic League in operation as well. Okay, back to society. So yes, there's my cultures. Here are my works of art, which are important. They do contribute things, which I won't go into. Religion. Here's the religious breakdown. We are mostly Catholic. Some Orthodox. Where's the Orthodoxy? Oh, so populations are spread throughout. So there you go. That's the Orthodox. Not many. And then we have some of these other smaller religious groups as well. Oh, okay, quite a few down in the south here. And there's, you know, we can take different stances on that. We can be very aggressively Catholic, or we can be more open. Pros and cons to various things. Whatever you decide, you just have to manage it. And then my people in different populations and so forth. And we've got diplomacy. And this is basically interacting with other nations around the world. Fairly standard. I don't think much has changed in diplomacy. They're all pretty standard throughout most of these games. I won't go into diplomacy, but basically you try to keep people happy. I've got too many diplomats, actually, so I'm at my maximum. So while I'm here, I'm going to try and increase Bohemia's. That won't improve by much. Poland loves me. These guys hate me, and Serbia hates me. So let's try and improve my opinion of them. It won't improve by much because I've been sending a lot of diplomats out here lately. That won't improve by much. Looking further afield, that won't improve by much. So let's improve the Papal States. That won't improve by much either. Byzantine Empire. Let's go further. Let's look at Smolensk. If I ask for them, that'll improve by 110. There we go. You can see the difference there. 2, 3, 4, 5 versus 110. So I'm going to try and improve them. Just like to have good relations with everyone. Sweden's huge, so I'm going to try and get them to like me. And then we'll save our last diplomat for an emergency. So yeah, you send diplomats out and they recover. Military basically shows your military forces. I do have my... Where are they? Why are they over there? This is my... That was the levy. And this is my regular army. So I do have 200 regulars. And what can I say about them? They're very small, they don't do much. Just boost my levy a little bit. You can see my army morale. All these things have impacts on how effectively you fight. So I've got my discipline, military tactics, infantry power, cavalry power. These are things you gain through various technological advancements and having a good leader and experience in battle, etc., etc. Okay. Again, there are things like if I was proactive, I could be advancing a lot of these things through certain actions, but I haven't been. So I've just been letting the military. I'm not a military power, and so my army is doing pretty well, considering. I'm just trying to see. So this is my general. He's pretty good. No, he's not. He's only 56. He's doing enough. All right. I've researched something. I've researched supranational ambitions. This increases my power projection overseas. as that has happened, let's look at technology. And these are, I can open the full tech tree. So to open one of these trees, you need to discover the institution. Okay, so I have discovered the banking institution. I've been branching out along this tree. I've discovered the professional armies institution. I've discovered all the institutions of this age of Renaissance, in fact. So we're right on the cusp of the age of discovery. It'll be happening any year now. I think in the next 2 or 3 years will be. Does it say when it'll happen? I think it's 1437. So let's have a look at the age of Renaissance. Let's have a look at the age of Renaissance. It ends 1437, so we're 3 years away from this ending and opening up the age of discovery, which will then give us an opportunity to discover these new institutions. But we're currently here, we have access to all these trees. I could look for something that I really need. So what might I really need? I don't need a galley, I don't need Navy Initiative, I don't need Prosperity, I don't need Navy Repair, don't need Policy Cost Reduction, don't need any of these really. That would be nice, but it's all the way down the bottom. What about along here? A Carrack, raw materials time, rights and nobility. I don't want to increase their rights. They're already very powerful. If I got over here, I've got stone output and national assemblies. Okay, that might be a good one. So you can see here, I need to discover Renaissance sculptures before I can discover national assemblies, so I can guide my path. PJK. It is a game. You're about 45 minutes into where I've been describing everything, so hard to jump in now. But this is my tech tree. This is a tech tree for the age of Renaissance. I don't need these things. I'm just looking at what my next technological discovery might be. Spy networks I don't really care about. I'm not really engaged in espionage. Undercover contracts. That'll just help me to infiltrate other nations, kingdoms. A Hulk is a ship I don't really care about too much. Bank interest, mercenary maintenance, mercenary costs. I'm not really engaging in warfare, so I don't need that. Gunpowder I don't care about. None of these things I care about. Right? Cavalry, handgunners, etc., etc. Men at arms. These are all military stuff, which I'm not, as a relatively peaceful kingdom, I don't really care about. Anti-piracy warfare, plated knights. What else have we got over here? Navy morale, Mediterranean galley, blockade efficiency, navy. I looked at these, didn't I? There's nothing interest here. Legislative assemblies down the end there might be interesting. Diplomatic annexation, proximity cost. I don't know what that is. Alright, so I'm going to go with sculpture because I want to unlock the next thing in line. So sculpture itself isn't, the stone output isn't that interesting, but it's the thing that this leads to, which I'm hoping for. And that's underway. And I've got pretty good, let's see how my population's going. Are they really unhappy? They're doing alright. So things are declining. Okay, they're heading down to that lower equilibrium. It has improved a little bit, but at the same time, my stability is improving. Okay, so where was I? I briefly went from military and navy, of course, as well. You can see my navy there. To research geopolitics. I don't think I ever click on this. Maritime. I should be clicking on it because I need to have a stronger maritime presence in the Bay of Kotor. Okay, so this is my current mission. So as I'm running through these missions, I'm learning about how the game works. So the game will set you these missions. So I had to establish a wharf, and I clicked on here, and it tells you how to establish a wharf. Build it in your urban location. So I had to upgrade my regional little area to a town to build the wharf. I needed to improve burger relations. It told me how to do it. That was pretty easy, actually. Then I'm at this one, which I've been on for a long time, maritime presence. And to improve my maritime presence in this region, I need to have a maritime lane. So basically a dominant, I think it's the one thing, they're generally very easy to understand what's happening with these missions. This one doesn't give me much information. Full stop. So yes, I don't have trade capacity. I need to improve my trade capacity in the pest market as well. So how might I do that? Well, we go to pest. I'll probably go to trade. How can I improve my presence in the pest market? I don't know. Yep, I really don't know. So some of the missions and the tutorials and the walkthroughs are very good. Sometimes they're limited. Okay, and it's taken me a long time to invest in this development of trade mission that I don't want to interrupt it. I can stop at any time and go to a politics mission or a military mission, but you then start from scratch, and if you come back to the development of trade mission, you lose all your progress, and you have to do all those things all over again. Alright, I'm suffering inflation. That's because I took over, there we go. I took over manual control of my economy to try and improve my stability. Now 47. Alright, so things are going, things are happening, buildings are being built. What am I waiting for? I'm waiting for, often I've got something happening. I'm waiting to improve my stability. My funds are going up. So despite the fact that I'm investing heavily in stability, I'm also, you may recall, I'm moving towards centralization of control. Here we go. We've got a generous merchant family, one of the greatest and richest merchant families in the kingdom, have decided to reward us for our just rule with a donation. Blah, 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 blah. We can strengthen our coffers or give patronage. Our kingdom does not need the money. All right, so I definitely don't need that. Instead, I could gain prestige, and he moves to the kingdom of Hungary. That is what I want. So this is my prestige up here. It always deteriorates. Okay, so I'll do that. I really don't know how to how do I spend my prestige? I know I can invest in artists, as I said. So I have my artists here. If they weren't working on these works of arts, I'm only allowed to support 2 artists. There, so I can't hire this guy. What's going on here? This just popped up. Buildings are missing. Dubrovnik is missing ivory. Okay, well, I can micromanage that, but I'm not going to. All right, so these are my navies. I can minimize. This is my little what's it called? Outliner. And I mentioned this very early in the video. This is kind of a list of all the things that should draw my attention. So what's happening? Locations. I don't know why I put a star on that one, but I don't need to anymore. Oh, because I had a mission around that. So that's been there for a long time. Buda is my capital. I've got markets. Okay, that's one of my diplomats returning home. The pest market is making a lot of money for me. I've got my regular army. I mentioned my navy down here. Maybe I can build some more. Actually, no, I can't build more. Let me show you why. If I go to navies, and if I go to, I think I'm at my maximum naval capacity for some reason. I can't remember why. But basically, I don't want to build any more ships. But I can't remember what the guiding factor for that was. But basically, these guys have got a mission. Oh, I did have them a mission. Maybe they've they had an objective, which was to patrol the seas, and I had them set as not just the Adriatic, but the South Adriatic Sea. This region here, to try and dominate that region. Alright, so I don't know why they're not doing it. They just seem to be sitting in harbour constantly. Anyway. And who is this? Is this Ragusa? Okay, they're hanging around there as well. I don't like Ragusa. I'd like to take over their country eventually. Alright, so what else is going on? Government. Okay, so I am almost complete with this distribution of power law. Look at that, it's bumping up. It's almost, you can see over here, it's almost 100%. Come on. Yay, okay, so the law is in place. That should, let's have a look at my power, crown power now. Look at 28%. So when we started the video, we're at 20%, suffering a lot of these penalties. Now I can revoke privileges of the nobility at a reduced cost. My estates are happier. It's cheaper for me to change policy. I project more power overseas. My cabinet, those cabinet members, those 3 cabinet members doing important work down here, they are more efficient. What else? What else? Trade income is up. Cost of the court is down. So things are better. Parliament-based support. So when Parliament is being held, their base support, their starting base is much higher. So things are better now that my crown power is improved. Wouldn't mind. So that because this is so high, look at all those negative things. Actually, no. That's what causes them to have so much power. This is the effect of that power. I cannot tax them much. I don't like aristocracy. So look at this. Look how high it is. Possible noble power. Discipline, expected cost of court. It's not so bad, I guess. Alright, what's going on here? We don't have a king. The country is ruled through a noble's regency. Ah, what happened to the other guy? That was interesting. He just disappeared. So one of our nobles has become our regent. It's going to make the nobles happy, but everyone else is unhappy. And we're going to progress towards an aristocracy. Okay. Not entirely happy with that. Get her to join an order of chivalry. No, we won't. Won't worry about that for now. Okay, so does that mean they're going to trend down? Yeah, they are trending down. Their satisfaction barely above 50%. The nobles are a problem. Look at all their privileges. Can I revoke? Oh, look, it costs stability. It's going to cost me a lot of stability to revoke. You can see down here. Yeah. I think that has to be my next sort of goal, to slowly revoke all the privileges of the nobility. Connected by a group of Bulgarian dissidents. I say, remember, Bulgaria is I don't like them. Okay, and ability. Do we want to make an ability happier? No, we don't. Oh, but we lose prestige. No, look, too bad. Nobility satisfaction is quite high. I can afford to lose that, and I can afford to lose the prestige. It's sad, but yep. What else we got? So this is my extend the regency for another 5 years. She's not an effective ruler. Alright, what's happening? Let's pause. I've finished integrating that province, which is great. I can get my cabinet to do something else. Magyar is a key commander in Hungary's Black Army. He played a significant role. Now it's time we award this hero. Okay. I could move. Hungary gains. How effective a ruler is he? Or a cabinet member is he? Is what I'm looking at. He's a very effective cabinet member. So I'm going to bring him into our cabinet. So let's look at my cabinet. And again, so this guy finished his mission. He's good at military actions. Let's just compare him to the guy we just gained. He's better. So Magyar Balázs is a better military. Well, let's look at the mission first. What mission do we want these guys to do? I want to integrate more provinces. So I've got 1 or 2 more provinces. Yeah, this one here. 1 more. We'll integrate that. And because it's a military mission, he's good at military, but this other dude, Magyar, is just a little bit better. Okay. Pavel, where is he? Pavel is 77, 77. Yep. Alright, we're happy with that. Got a good cabinet, doing effective work. Alright, so what else is happening? Constructions. I'm expanding the hunting, I'm expanding farms, expanding mines. Do have some rebels who are getting a bit powerful. But I'm not. That increases very slowly. And then diplomacy. Alright, so I'm improving opinions around Eastern Europe. Alright, money's going up. Not by a lot, because I'm still investing in civility, but you'll notice now, the time I've been talking, it's now gone from like -50 up to -36, and it's improving. This is a slow one. So what I might start to shift my attention to is, let's look at my cabinet again. What are we doing? We're changing this up. We're moving towards centralization. That's important. I'm increasing control. I don't think I need to increase control so much. So instead I'm going to change this to... In fact, what I probably want to do is encourage migration to Reykjavik. I feel like I've had success in KOTOR. You can see how the control, even with my attempt to establish control, it's declining. What I want to do now is build up Reykjavik, improve it to... Actually, I can found a town now. So let's do that. That will let me build a port in Reykjavik. Done. And that's happening now. So I'm improving migration. Population is pretty decent. It's a decently sized town. It's actually probably bigger than KOTOR. Population growth is 0.57. Migration is good. So we're going to start focusing our attention. I feel like KOTOR is good. We're now going to focus our attention on Reykjavik, build a wharf or a port, I can't remember, and start to build a second fleet over here, maybe. Okay, this is religious decisions, not much consequence for us. I don't know why these guys aren't patrolling this region. I have set them... I've set them a clear mission. Okay, what's this? I've got a resolution to vote on. It's this resolution here. Because I have a cardinal now with the church, this happened relatively recently. Catholicism gains De Gratia Rex, the impact of which is the estate satisfaction improves. So yes, I want that to happen. I don't know why I wouldn't. Okay, so guys, select objective. I want you to patrol the seas. I want you to patrol the South Adriatic Sea. I don't know why. Maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe it's this one. All right, I've discovered this technology. So what was the other? National assemblies for the thing I wanted to unlock. There we go. Okay, what else is happening? Ah, okay. So I've got some children who are not getting a focused education. So all I'm doing is giving them an administrative education. Balanced education. Why can't I change that? She's not in the country. Where on earth is she? He's getting administrative. She's getting administrative. Where is this child? Well, she's out of the country somewhere. Okay, we have a rush of merchants. Trade expansion has led to a growing desire among the merchants to start new trade ventures. Do we welcome the extra merchants? We get a rush of merchants, which improves our burger trade capacity, or do we strengthen our existing trade routes? We get extra benefits from our existing merchants, gives us a trade. I want the trade advantage. Yes. That's what I want. Because I think do I need trade advantage? Trade capacity. Oh, maybe I should have got the merchants. Right, so I'm going to try and improve my trade capacity in pest. I'm going to go to current buildings, look at burger buildings. Okay, this is my trading class. So look for buildings that improves their trade capacity. Surely some more marketplaces and a market warehouse would help with that. So we'll build up some of those. And what's going to be the most profitable? The most profitable is going to be a tools guild. So let's build some of those and a tailors guild. So lots of building things going on in pest to try and build up that industrial, what do you call it, industrial, productive trade capacity. Okay, while we're here, nothing's being built in down here. I'm not going to try and pronounce it. So let's Let's wait for the game. Now, we get to another point. Here we go. Okay, can't build any noble buildings. Oh, look at this. We're at the dawn of the age of discovery. At the dawn of the early modern era, new continents are being mapped while feudal society is slowly giving way to centralized states. For an enterprising state, this age can be seen as a foundation of a worldwide empire. I don't care about the military. I don't want leadership or maneuver and so forth. I don't want to quest for the new world or seek fortune overseas because I'm mainly landlocked with 2 little coastal provinces. So you can see I'm going here for a dynamic court, missionary skills, preaching missions, organized structure. That's exactly what I want. All these things in administrative focus. Bohemia has been proclaimed as a diplomatic hegemon. Okay. Bohemia. They are a diplomatic hegemon, eh? Let's try and improve my relationship with them. Okay, well, what's happening? Our Chancellor, our blah, blah, blah. Yep, that's happening. We've researched national assemblies, which gives us national assemblies, which is a government reform. Where would I find that? A government reform. National assemblies. It's a government reform. Is it a... Let's go through, see we can see these are all our maritime law. No, no, no. Education, no. Teachings, no. Common language, mining operations, exports, no. Oh, I can't see where National Assemblies fits into all this kind of stuff. I could just search for National Assemblies, but it's a... Is it automatic? Does it just happen? Maybe it's an automatic thing that just happens. What if I click here? Government reforms. Press the button under the crown. Press the plus button under the crown. What plus button? Is this it? Oh, it's... Oh, I see. No, it's here. These are my reforms. So if I want to get rid of agricultural cultivation, which is kind of what I do want to do, I can change that to national assemblies. Where are they? Oh, I can't do it. Why not? There's a prerequisite, which is what? I must have a particular type of parliament type. At least one of these, and I have the Peasant Republic Government Reform. Okay, so I'm a bit Peasant Republic Government Reform. So I'm a bit too advanced. Oh well. But while my attention is on these, I don't think I need... Oh, what's it going to cost me? Change the government. 20 stability. It's going to change... It's going to cost me... I'm going to improve my stability first. Let's not rush ahead of things. Okay. We now have access to age discovery. A whole new tech tree. Now, I have not discovered these institutions yet. So the first step is to discover an institution before I can then... So new world, I can't unlock this path. Printing press, can't unlock that path. Pike and shot, can't unlock that path. So whilst we're at this age, there's nothing I can do. There's a lot coming. Okay, not to worry. Well, let's go back to my list. This is just the tech tree summarized with things I can do. Okay. No, I'm sure this is an age of discovery. Rights and nobility. I don't really... this rights and nobility law lets me curtail the nobility. I meant to do this. Let's do rights and nobility. Because I can use this to curtail the rights of the nobility. Alright, waiting for that stability to increase. So change costs stability is the lesson here. What is happening? Okay, a monastery inhabited by monks has fallen on hard times. Due to lack of funding and followers, they've declined to a sad state. They want some money, basically. If I don't give them the money, they lose prosperity. So look, I'll donate some money. It's not a problem. I can afford it. And I'm going to speed things up. This is progressing to a town, right? It is a town. Can I now build? That's not mine. Sorry. I'm looking at the wrong area. This is progressing to a town. We're already busy with founding a town. Great. So that's the progress there. We're looking at 2nd July 1437, so a couple of months away, not far. How is my cabinet performing? We're changing style of values. Let's look at our values. We're moving it back towards centralization. Look at that. It's almost balanced now. 0.3 per month, which is great. Where are we currently at? We currently sit at 4.35. So I reckon a year, what are we looking at? Maybe a year and a half. Bohemia. So Bohemia has become, they've done really well. They've very powerful. And France has lost theirs. Look at them. They're very fractured. Keep in mind, it's only 1437. Okay, the ever-broadening intellectual landscape of the university demands more funding. Hungry minds must be fed. I lose a lot of money. I gain research progress. Or I refuse, lose prestige, he dies, and I lose population satisfaction. I kind of want to... it's a lot of money, but research progress, and I get another potential cabinet member. So yeah, we'll do that. Look at this aristocracy bar. It's way too much, and it keeps moving. So I need to start moving back towards plutocracy. Improve my trade efficiency, reduce the cost of the court. Okay. Oh. So I've got these constructions underway. Lots happening. Rebels are growing in power. Alright, what's happening now? I've researched the rise of nobility, which unlocks a new law. Now, keep in mind, laws will cost stability. Alright, so what do I do next? Ships, bank interest, -1%, military tactics, recruitment speed. Nothing here is important. None of these are urgent. So let's increase my character life expectancy and improve disease resistance. Because there are plagues happening all the time. I think we've reached... Oh, hold on, what's this? The following laws have not been written. If I write that law, it only costs money. Okay, so the first to change the law costs stability. To write the law... Okay, where is my nobility? Where is it? Look at that. They're so happy with themselves. I'm going to curtail the nobility, which reduces their power, increases my capacity to tax them. They'd be blocked from cabinet. I don't want that to happen necessarily, but I will move towards centralization. Oh, blocked from cabinet. That's tough. That's very tough. I currently have 2 nobles. I don't want to curtail them completely. What's a good thing here? Nobles' power. I don't want to increase their power. Everything increases their power, except for curtailing them. I might just wait. I'm going to leave that without a policy for now. I would like to curtail them, but I currently have 2 of my cabinet members are nobles, and okay, are we voting on this again, which will give me institution growth? Sure. All right. Look, I think I've reached... oh, things keep popping up. Again, slow negotiation. No choice here. We've reached a point where I'm... Yep, you can see I'm shifting to a new focus down here. Oh, it's built, is it? It's now a town. So now I can hopefully build that dock, the wharf. Here it is, the wharf. Done. You can see the wharf is being built. So folks, I've gone through a heck of a lot very quickly. Things popping up and, you know, stuff all over the place. What have I conveyed? Possibly the complexity of the game, possibly a lot that I still don't understand. But I've kind of showed you just the key thing to take away from this is every time you start a game, you pick a different power and they all face different challenges. Oh, okay, so Sevilla is exploring this institution of the New World, which will unlock one of those tech trees, basically. I might wrap this up. Things keep popping up. Poland has... I've got a mutual defence league with Poland, which I'll resolve. I automatically join Poland in any defensive wars anyway. They're a close friend and ally. You can see they have... We have a 200 opinion of them. I think they have a 200 opinion of us as well. Yeah, what is this? Okay, so folks, yeah, that is possibly a snapshot, a condensed, quick snapshot of Europa Universalis V. I am still... Where am I? I'm still in this Regency for a couple more years. I find it hard to find... Where's my heir? She's 14 now, so I've got 4 more years before she takes control. She's a much better administrator. So you can see her administrative education here is already 66. It'll grow, and then she'll unlock some special abilities as well. Yeah, folks, EU5. Check it out. There's some great tutorials. Now, I haven't gone through the tutorial, but so there's the walkthrough, and then you have these missions which guide you through sort of more detailed intricacies of how the game works. All right, everyone.